thanks for tuning into the Financial Investor channel. My name is Brent, and today we're going to be quickly discussing the unfortunate incident that took place on Sunday and how it had affected the market on Monday. And then we're going to be talking about four stocks that it affected positively due to the shooting that took place and what may come as an effect from it. And then we're going to be talking about three stocks that were affected negative due to the shooting. It is an unfortunate incident that takes place. It's unfortunate that we have these things on sort of a consistent basis, but we are here to discuss the stock market and how these sort of events affect the market as a whole. So there was an interesting article that came up to my attention earlier this morning. So gun stock prices climb after Las Vegas mass shooting. So I wanted to look into some of these stocks that were affected positively, and of course a lot of the gun stocks were affected positively. And then on the opposite scale, what were some stocks that were affected negatively due to the incident? So we're going to be talking about quickly about the market indexes. So normally, I like to talk about the market index, especially after these sort of incidents, because the market moves with the uncertainty. If there's any uncertainties, if there's questions of war, talks of war, or just shootings in general, I would have thought may have affected some of the market indexes, but it had no effect on it. So the Dow had an increase of 0.68% today. That was very nice growth. I've noticed that the Dow has been doing better than the Nasdaq. I believe the Nasdaq still beat the Dow last week by just a tiny bit, but these two have been doing very well. So the Dow had an increase of 0.68% today, followed right behind by the S&P 500 with an increase of 0.39%, and the Nasdaq with an increase of 0.32% today. So just looking at 1 month here, I'm just going to quickly look. So the Dow Jones has had an increase of 2.59 for the month, and the Nasdaq has only had an increase of 2.26%. So just about double there. Now on to the four stocks that were affected. You can see the article here, gun stock prices. So we're going to look at some gun stocks and take a look at their before and after price due to the incident, and then talk a little bit about how their 1 year has been affected by, say, political changes and such. So 5-day here. So Friday they closed at $51.75. Monday they peaked out with an increase of 5.31%, and then ending for the day with an increase of 3.48%. So this is Ruggers, all those Ruger guns. I believe they make 9 mils and 40 mils and a variety of other weapons. But let's see here. Next stock was AOBC. This is American Outdoor Brands Corp. They manufacture Smith and Wesson, if I can pronounce that correctly. They closed at $15.25 on Friday. They had an increase peak at 7.21% today. So that would have been a very nice one to be having. I don't know if anyone's actually invested in a lot of these gun companies just due to who is in presidency right now. Donald Trump is a Republican. He has not been pushing gun control. He's trying to open up new regulations that would make it easier for guns to be purchased by foreigners and such, or sold to foreigners. So there's not a lot of gun control being enacted right now. And if we look near November here, November 8th is when the election took place. So right here in November, right there, November 4th, it was at $27.24. Since near November 8th, when Donald Trump took presidency, they have had a decrease of 48.9%. And you can see here, Donald Trump wins the election of 2016 on November 8th, 2016. And if we look at the stocks here on November 8th, 2016, oh, here we are. That's a 1 year right here. So you can see it peaked at November 8th, 2016 at $28.45, and has gone down 53.22% today. As of today, let's see here. As of September 11th, it began trailing upwards. So I haven't been watching too much of the media, whether they've been pushing out new gun control policies and such. I read the one about Trump wanting to open up the whole sales, but due to the incident that took place, there could be new measures being put in place or being discussed with political members, and that could affect the stock. So the next time you see a Democrat running and possibly gaining entry into the office, that could be a good buying opportunity into gun stocks, just because when there's certain regulations of gun control being discussed and implemented, people are out there wanting to purchase more ammo, purchase more weapons, because these gun controls are going to be put in effect that'll limit how many people can own a gun, who can own a gun, how many guns you can own, what type of ammo you can buy, where you can buy ammo, where you can buy guns. So, as of November 8th, you can see the stock has gone down, but for the 5-year, it had actually gone up very well up until that point here. It had an increase of 1.66%. So very nice growth for the 5-year. You can see even in the 5-year, you can see that they've had 54%. So that's an average of over 10%. That's what 10.25% per year. They don't pay a dividend, but let's go on to the next one. So we'll discuss Vista Outdoors. This is another company, operates with two segments. They have a shooting, sports, and outdoors products. So you can see that they have had, they closed Friday at $22.95, and they peaked out with an increase of 3.14, and they kind of trailed back down a little bit, but they had a nice increase of 2.44% for the day. Again, if we look at their winning here on November 8th, actually they were trailing sideways for a while, even after the elections, just because of their outdoor products. I believe they trailed sideways for a while, and then once they entered the next quarter and their shooting sports, their revenue from their shooting sports decreased quite a bit. I'm sure that's what caused this, and now their outdoor products are causing them to go sideways here. I mean, they're not, they lost a bit of revenue there, but I believe that's what's caused it there. And then next is Dick's here. 5-day, they closed. Now, of course, this one's more of a retail. There's American Sporting Goods Retail Corporation. They do have guns and weapons that they sell. So this one wasn't affected in a spiking manner. You can see that on Friday they closed at 27.06, and they opened, and they kind of traded upwards with an increase of 1.78 for the day. They actually peaked with an increase of 2.18 before the pullback, and then ended at 1.78. And Dick's, I'm sure if you look at it here, back in November, let's see, November, it's back here, back here, way back here. So November, this time frame here, they traded sideways for a while. They were still going upwards, and then after the elections, the next quarter started, and they lost probably some of their sales. People weren't buying as many weapons and ammo and guns. I'm sure that's quite a bit of their revenue there. So they're still trailing sideways. But for the 5-year, boy, that's very. For their 5-year, they're actually down 47%. So now some stocks that were affected negatively, huge, are MGM. Now, of course, this is where the shooter was standing. He had rented a room on some level of floor. I'm not sure what floor he was at. It looks like he was pretty high up there. And it looks like it had, that's why their stock took such a huge fall today. Just because people are pulling out of the stock. They don't think that they can continue building their revenue for the following months, just due to new customers not wanting to stay at the MGM resorts or being afraid to go there again because of incidents such as this. It is an unfortunate incident. Someone's not going to go out there and repeat this, but it does cause the stock to crash, or stock to go down. So you can see Friday they closed at $32.58, and they opened up Monday with a decrease of 3.78, and then continued throughout the day, ending at 5.52, and then into the after hours with a decrease for the total day of negative 5.58%. So that is where the shooter was shooting from, the MGM resorts. Now the next stock that was affected poorly was Wynn Resorts. This is also in Las Vegas, Nevada. You can see that for the 5 day, they had a really nice spike last Friday. I know Jeremy from the Financial Education Channel. He talks about Wynn Resorts just about every month when he talks about his stocks that he's purchasing or following and such. So looks like it closed Friday at around $148, $148.92. Open Monday at one. Let's see. That can't be right. What happened? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Open Monday at 147.10, and then trailed downwards for 2.26 before trailing back up, an increase of 1.04, and ending at a decrease of 1.24%. So this could be a good buying opportunity for Wynn Resorts. I still think it's very high. The next stock here is one that I had actually looked at, which is Las Vegas Sands. You can see here Friday they closed at 64.16. Monday they opened at $63.03, but then quickly, without even IB tier, 9:30 to 10, within a half an hour, they had a spike back up of nearly 2% and then trailed back up for the whole day with an increase of 1.26. So this is only after hours are here. You can see the spike that took place. That was in the after hours. So if you had bought pre-market hours and then caught that ride on the way up, you could have had an increase today of 3.08%. So this is still a good stock. I've looked into this one. I do need to look into it a little bit further, but 1 year growth, they've been trailing sideways, but they've still had an increase of nearly over 10%, so 10.36%, and then for their 5 year, they've had an increase of nearly 40%, 43%. So very good growth. Let's see, 40 by 5 is 8, so averaging 8 or so percent per year, plus that dividend yield of 4.49%. So very good. Las Vegas Sands, another good company out there. So those are four stocks that were affected on their gun sales today, and then 3 stocks that were affected just because they're resorts in Las Vegas. So that is it for this channel. If you have watched until this point, I do want to thank you for watching up until this point. If you did enjoy the video, if you have any comments or suggestions or anything, go ahead and leave that in the comments below. If you have any questions or want to say hello, please leave a comment and I will always reply. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye.